Hi guys, and welcome to or back to my channel. Happy New Year everyone. I hope you guys had an amazing celebration during New Year's Eve with family or friends, or family and friends. I hope everyone has had a blessed 2025 regardless of ups and downs, that it was a good year and that 2026 will be even better. So with that being said, in today's video, I wanted to talk about something that's near and dear to me, but that I feel like many Black girls out there can actually relate to, which is how to build your confidence when you're the only Black girl in the room. I have a lot of experience to this topic, and I'm sure that many others out there have that as well. And as I share my entrepreneurial journey here on my channel with my consulting business, Mad Growth, and vlogs, personal stories, I think this is the perfect way to start off the year by sharing some tips that I've kind of gathered throughout the year, having this exact experience, being the only Black girl in the room, and also just like building confidence overall, because I feel like 2026 is the year that many people, 2025 has been the year that many people came out of their shell. And so why not start 2026 off with giving advice on actually building confidence and becoming the best version of yourself. To my OG subscribers and viewers who have been with me for a very, very long time, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me throughout my pause on YouTube and actually coming back and, getting back in the groove. I really, really appreciate every single one of you guys out there who have watched me grow on this platform. And to my new viewers, if you're new here, hi, my name is Alithy. I'm a 20-year-old entrepreneur based in Sweden. I offer hair consulting as a side hustle and also study full-time as a student in university. And so those are amongst the things that I like to share here on YouTube. So if that's something that's up your alley, being a small business owner and creative academic weapon, you feel me? All of such, then make sure to subscribe and stick around. So with that being said, without further ado, let's just get right onto this video. The first tip that I have when it comes to being the only Black girl in the room is that you have to stop over monitoring yourself. And when I say this, I mean like over monitoring yourself and thinking that certain behaviors that you do, people are automatically going to connect that with being a typical Black girl thing to do. People are always going to have opinions no matter what you do. You do good, they'll have opinions, and that might be to your advantage. You'll be like, oh, they have good opinions about me. When you do bad, they'll still have opinions, but maybe not opinions that you may like. You should not always feel like, oh, I can't act this way because they are gonna think that's such a typical Black girl thing to do. And I'm amongst white people, so I gotta act, classy or whatever. I mean, Black girls can be classy too. Black girls can be put together. And there are several examples of that on the internet and in your surroundings as well. So those are examples that you should look up to and be inspired by, not only thinking that the way you are and who you are as a person should be a negative and you should like restrict yourself from being yourself. I mean, there are certain things that I do that are influenced by shows I watch. For example, I watch Baddies, and so some slang, that I might say in a room full of white people, and they might think, oh, she's such a Black girl. Well, I am Black, and being Black is not a crime. If people are gonna act a certain way, what stops you from acting a certain way? As long as you conduct yourself well and you don't try to fake it till you make it, because that works in certain aspects, but when it comes to you and being your true self, like representing what you stand for, who you are, that's not something that you can fake for a long time. Not only that, but being an ambitious, smart, beautiful Black girl, which I'm sure you are, girl, of course, you have to remember that if you're put in certain rooms with certain types of people, it is often connected with what you have up here. Like, it is connected with your mindset, with the way you see yourself, with the way you want to conduct yourself, and how you want to move in life. And so if you're put in a room with people who don't represent your ethnicity now, being Black, well, be that representation, but represent yourself as well. Being that you can be confident, you can be yourself, you can talk the way you want to talk. Like, if you can stand behind the things that you say and how you move, then there should never be a problem with you staying true to yourself, even when you're around people who don't look like you. This also brings me to my next point, which is being able to detach yourself from stereotypes. Stereotypes is people's way of categorizing certain people into a box to fit their own worldview, right? As humans, we like to connect people to things, things to people, whatever. We just like to be able to categorize because that makes it easier for us to function. And so we can't hold that against people. Like having stereotypes, I have stereotypes about people who are in my ethnicity. And that's also a safety hazard because some of the stereotypes one has is true, but not all of them are true. You as an individual, whoever is watching this, you shouldn't like hold yourself down because of the stereotypes that others have of people who look like you. Because as I said earlier on my previous point, people are gonna like you because of who you are, how you conduct yourself, how you make yourself seem respectable for them, because a lot is about respect. And so it's never gonna be that people like you for the weight. Well, looks are something that plays a good part of it, but mostly who you are. Okay, who you are, what you stand for, and what if you can stand by what you stand for with confidence. That's what I think gives even more confidence, not only to you, but the way people see you. They'll be like, damn, like this girl, she got it. The next tip I have when it comes to building confidence as the only Black girl in the room is that don't see standing out as pressure. Instead, see it as presence, see it as a gift, see it as people notice you, like they see something valuable in you. They see something that you don't see in yourself. You might think, oh, these people are watching me, which of course is, a little uncomfortable. My point is, standing out might mean that people actually see something in you that they aspire to be. Okay? They see something in you that lights up the room when you come in there. They see something in you that they are intimidated by. And that should not scare you because it's intimidating them. Why see it as a negative thing that people really like? They look to you. There are many people that come in the room and go unnoticed. Like, they just pass by and you never even think of them being there. Like there are so many people who are like that. And so when people say that you stand out as the only Black girl in the room, you should take that as something positive. Like, wow, like I really am that girl, because you are. Okay, let's not get it twisted now. Know who you are and stand by that. And a little side note to that is do activities where you actually get to practice the skill of owning a room, owning a space that you enter into. Because there's one thing about actually being noticed when you enter a room and standing out, but owning that energy is something totally, totally different. In my case, doing that is as a teenager, because I'm 20 now, so I ain't no teenager like. But when I was in my teens, I used to play a lot of instruments and sing. I didn't choose it, it was my parents' choice to play instruments, and I was on stages. That's a way of training your social skills. So have a hobby where you actually get to train owning a space. You can stand out in the room and people won't notice you because you're not owning that, but you can also stand out in a room and obtain that energy to the point where people notice you. You get the difference. And when people give you positive feedback or feedback at all, always take that to your advantage, because that's their way of indirectly telling you how you can elevate and become even greater of a person than you already are. Moving on to the next point. This is yet another skill that I ironically learned in school, but also through hobbies and activities that I was enrolled in as a teenager. And if you haven't had parents who have helped you enroll into activities that help you train your social skills, as an adult, you can still do that. It's never too late to pick up something new. Confidence can also be quiet. And this is something that I learned through life, of course, but I also learned this in rhetorics class in high school, where we had a lot of exercises that could be very uncomfortable, but also very intriguing and interesting on how I would just see like some of my classmates, the way they spoke. It wasn't even like something extra that they did more than I, but like just the way, I don't even know, like, I think everyone should take a rhetorics class or a rhetorics course. I would always tell them, like, you could be talking like straight up bullshit and I would believe you. Because like their confidence was quiet, but it was affirmed and it was certain and it was there. So it doesn't always have to be that, oh, the most confident one, as the only black girl in the room, that you have to be extra, you have to know. But if that's you, then do that. But you can also be quietly confident, where it's just something that people feel. Another major factor that adds to confidence as a black girl in a room where you're not represented is having representation of people doing what you want to do that you can look up to. Having older friends is such a gift because you can actually look at their accomplishments and be in awe of how good they're doing. And you know, they're people who look like you and you're like, wow, like if they're doing it, literally what is stopping me? You feel me? So have representation, because that will make you feel more calm that, oh, well, I hope it makes you feel more calm that, oh, this is such a big thing, but like, she did it, and we went to high school together, we were friends, you know, living our lives, and then boom, things change and she's there, and hell, I gotta get there. I gotta do things, you know? Okay, guys, so now we're leaning more towards the end. And the last tip that I have to share on this topic is a little personal, near and dear to my heart. As a young girl, I faced a lot of racism when it came to my skin color. This made it hard for me when it came to being in a room full of people who didn't look like me and building confidence based like in relation to that, because generally I'm a chill girl. Like I get along with people quite easily. I just want to say that those are experiences that can affect the way your confidence is built, and certain traumatic experiences might delay, you know, how much or how fast or slow you want to let certain doors open. But it's always so super duper important to keep in mind that there isn't another version of you. There isn't another copy of you, unless you have a twin, but y'all are still different, even though you look the same. Still different individuals. You don't get too many years to live on this earth, so do it with pride, do it happy, do it sad, do it confused, do it irritated. Just do it, you know? Just do things that make you feel uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, yeah, okay, at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, in between the day, people are always going to have opinions about you. Just like you have opinions, remember that the other person is going to have that as well. Inner peace is found within us. Inner peace exists within us because God exists within us. So everything we need, everything we're looking for in this life, it's already in here. It's all about how you can fix what's up here to be able to experience what's in here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed filming it for you guys. This is my first video of 2026, much more to come. And I have some good news. Mad Growth is officially open for business. So if you live in Sweden or even in Denmark and you want to come over past the bridge, okay, and come here, and you're looking for a hair consultant who can give you tips and advice on how to take care of 4C, especially hair and coily to curly hair, hit me up in my DMs or book in the link in my Instagram and on TikTok. I'm so glad I get to share this journey with you guys here on my social platforms, and that I get to represent something that's so much more bigger than myself. Happy New Year's. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.